the last couple of days have created a few more journaling thoughts, including the introduction of the Manipura chakra, the third chakra. I watched an amazing YouTube meditation video that Ali did, and she speaks so easily and so beautifully. It makes it so easy to visualize what she's saying, and for me there feels such a strong connection to this area of focus and this area of energy. I can see that historically I have wished to suppress it, and that makes me feel very sad, and I find that wells up in me, and it's difficult to get past it really, because it's such a strong emotional reaction of sadness that I have, probably from a very early age, 5 or 6 or 7, been trying to hide my enthusiasm and my abilities for fear of standing out, and then learn how to cope with that consequence by wishing to be anonymous, and then obviously the enthusiasm and natural me comes through, and it's not like it's been suppressed and it's never been there. It's always there, it's just it's never been supported, and that feels so sad. This is a great opportunity to realise that, and it feels like a very important realisation, because I think through my time of exploration of discovering how to be, I worked out that exercise was very important to me, and found running in my 30s, and I'd always enjoyed sport and exercise when younger, and I don't think at that point I had a sense that needed to be hidden, because it was never like I was that good that I was likely to win or anything, but I was good enough to enjoy it and fly under the radar, but I could do it fully. But I think the other downsides have been a history of, at times in my life, particularly when younger, when at school and through uni years, I think I was struggling with how to be myself fully, trying to restrict it, but then not really knowing how to, and coping with that, and a lot of perfectionism, people pleasing at times, and a lot of self-sabotage, trying to make things not as good as they could be, and that's very painful. A lot of years followed by an awful lot of overthinking, where I had imbalance of thinking but not emotions for many years, and then recognising that as anxiety and needing to deal with the anxious state rather than the things that made me anxious, or apparently made me anxious, because those were the problems I was trying to solve. Realising that to deal with an anxious state required new skills, and that awareness took me into presence and working out ways of being calm, both through internal processes and calming techniques, but also recognising that I feel very present and calm in nature, and so have thoroughly enjoyed that, and still do, obviously. But it has always been the pursuit of calm, the non-anxious, the binary opposite, and this realisation in these last few days that there's another option, and that is to hold and support the fire, the enthusiasm, the willingness, the excitement, and it's exciting to pursue that as a new possibility. And I'm only just beginning the lessons, but I've just been watching some, and this point is exactly made in the lessons, which is that there is techniques in yoga and whole tradition that's been always there to balance calmness with energizing. And previously I've seen affirmations as almost something that were, if you say it enough then you'll believe it, but actually I could see that there's a different way, and that's a bit wispy. It's more like, as I watched this YouTube video, I could believe it and was being reminded of it and enjoying it. And as I say, that's quite ethereal at the moment. But the other connection in the past few days has been in being introduced to Ayurveda, and a name I've heard but never knew anything about it at all. And it appears to be the importance of nutrition in your well-being, which of course I have discovered and have largely found that what I eat does affect my moods, it does affect my well-being. It is very important to me. Whole grains and whole food, mainly plant-based, is very calming and energizing at the same time. So this whole area is new to me, and funnily enough, I thought it was the one thing I had found that wasn't part of yoga, and of course it appears it is so closely aligned. So a lot to look forward to, and our big group call is coming up very soon. I can't wait to see how it's introduced, and to begin to go through the more of the materials, because at the moment this is quite conceptual, but I can't wait to see what happens when we move into learning more about sun salutations and the power of the sun and energizing, and I feel that in my core, in my solar plexus area, based on the invitation, and so much so that it connects with funny little things that have been said, where I have mentioned that I thought, well, other people have said, perhaps you're solar powered, because the sun means so much to me, and I always enjoy the sunlight and seek it. And now to feel that there's that radiance inside that could be used and enjoyed is so exciting. So a lot to look forward to, and I now have a new nickname based on this powerful source in my solar plexus of Orbi One. So let's see how that explores as well.